is actually pretty cool. Except when he's hungry.
Quick, throw the Snickers.
Why?
Because he's already framed once.
What's he gonna be framed for this time?
I don't know.
He's gonna fight Nazis.
What?
Yeah. That's the whole plot of the sequel. He goes off to war.
He goes off to war?
Yeah.
And fights Nazis?
Yeah.
So he's framed for fighting Nazis is a bad thing?
I guess so. I don't know.
So does Captain America appear with a red skull?
That would be awesome.
That would be... Roger Rabbit fighting Nazis alongside Captain America.
Good work.
I would see that movie.
I'm just
Can't
imagining.
even see anything.
I'm just imagining it now. All of a sudden, we get Private Snafu. You know, we have Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse punching Hitler in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Just weird, bizarre stuff happening to Nazis.
They could have talking bullets and talking swastikas. I get behind. Their musical was singing swastikas.
The sad thing
They
is,
will ostracize an entire group of people, you know.
the sad part is I don't think this movie's ever going to get made just because, you know, recently Bob Hoskins died.
Yeah.
They're making a cartoon.
You're thinking of the Mickey Mouse Roger Rabbit short.
But they could just make him into a cartoon because you can have him like die in real life and because the life is a cartoon. They'll all say they can.
You can't do Roger Rabbit with Bob Hoskins. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
Sure you can. You just don't.
I mean, there are a few movies where, like,
But
you can't do it anymore. I mean, you can't do that one because you lost Bob Hoskins. You can't do Bill and Ted because you don't have George Carlin.
You got Bill and Ted still.
Yeah, but you need George Carlin. I mean, to me, George Carlin was,
Isn't
you know,
Mickey
just...
Rooney just passed away too?
Yeah, Mickey Rooney passed away, so you can't make any more stop-motion Santa Claus movies anymore.
Yeah, no, and then Cheech and Chong?
No,
No, not yet?
not yet.
He's not dead yet?
No.
Dang.
They're actually working on it.
Oh, well.
Let's get high
Three
again.
Stooges, you can't do the Three Stooges too. We were talking about that the other day.
Because 2 out of 3 are dead.
Yeah.
Shit, one stooge.
Which one's still alive?
Chad.
No, thanks, guys.
Well, welcome to Movie Roulette.
I'm Chad,
I'm Kris.
And I'm Todd.
and we saw Godzilla, dun 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 dun, Godzilla, dun dun dun, dun, and
Well, Matthew Broderick returns as Bryan Cranston.
wow.
Plot holes galore.
Yeah.
It was Godzilla awful.
Oh, man, it was okay. You thought it was bad?
I thought it was Godzilla awful.
Really?
Oh, for love of Godzilla. Yes, it was. I mean, it was the people. I like Godzilla. He looked cool. But if he had just killed everybody, then I would be like cheering him on. But he let people live, and that just disheartened me because the people in the city were just so dumb. They should never. I mean,
No.
they didn't run. They just stood there screaming. It's like,
My
what?
thing is this whole movie, and we'll talk about the plot here in a second, is that they know monsters are attacking. You're not gonna let people know.
Yeah,
No.
It's like, hey, they're coming your way. Yeah, let's get them out of the city.
right.
No.
Or you just put them in a subway shelter because that's safe. You
Yeah,
know?
sure, because you got a 2-ton, or not even, a 1,000,000-ton dinosaur stomping around. It's not like you just break through the concrete and just
No.
squish you.
Not at
It's
all.
like, I got crap on my shoe. And he just walks away. I mean, that's exactly what would happen.
I want to know how many dead people are on his foot.
I wanted to know that too. Probably a lot.
First, what's wrong with shaking his foot, scraping against buildings?
Yeah.
Like, ew, get this goo off me.
Well, that's probably what he was doing when he was in the water.
Yeah.
He really wasn't just like going from point A to point B. He was actually trying to wash himself off from all the crap on his shoe.
Obviously.
But anyway, so the plot of this Godzilla movie is pretty much that Bryan Cranston discovers some kind of seismic boom going on underground, and he freaks out and says, "We should probably go take a look at this." And then his wife dies.
Sad face.
Yep.
Yes,
So
probably
she
at that
dies.
point.
Yeah, you gotta feel sad for that
It's
part.
up.
Yeah.
It's up with Godzilla.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
up with Godzilla.
No balloons or talking dogs, unfortunately.
And no stillborns.
Yeah.
Well, we all had to say it some point in time. There was a stillborn scene in that movie.
Well,
But
actually,
then-
there was.
there was, so.
So then it goes 15 years into the future, time travel,
Yes, thankfully.
and the sun is now fighting giant monsters
Yeah,
with guns.
Yes.
and bullets.
Which are totally ineffectual. But they still fight with them because,
Yeah.
this is America. And if you don't shoot something, then it's not a Hollywood blockbuster because
Exactly.
you've got to be ineffective.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, the whole thing about this movie is that it was just... I didn't feel like there was a lot of Godzilla in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
I felt like there was just more of people running around screaming about, hey, let's try to do something and let's not do anything.
And
at the
be
same
totally
time.
ineffectual and illogical about doing nothing at all.
Exactly.
That's the
In other
biggest.
words, the U.S. government in operation.
Yes.
I mean, that was the biggest problem. It's like there was no logic to anything. This would have been a very interesting movie because everyone was sitting down looking at every single option they can go with.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like we're just going to nuke them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which defeated the purpose anyway, because when they discovered the pod, that was, I guess, there was this whole new monster, the Mutants, the Mutos.
I call them Rodan.
Yeah, the Muto Rodan Weapon X type things, Alien X things. Those things are pretty much were radioactive. So what's the best way to get rid of a radioactive thing?
Radiation.
You nuke it, and that was the pretty much the logic of it. Is let's just take the entire nuke, put it in the middle of San Francisco. They go to it, boom.
Yeah, because as they say, the radiation will kill them, but the force of the blast will. Because
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah. So, I mean, that normally would...
But the biggest problem is that they kept feeding them nukes.
Exactly! They wouldn't stop feeding them radiation!
Unlike bears, where the bears went hungry and they wouldn't eat anything, this movie's just like, here, have more food.
Eat. Exactly. The one thing with this movie, too, is that there was a huge pothole in the part where, in Nevada, when they go in, and they go, we need to find the other pod that we've pretty much discovered in the Philippines, and we put the pod in Nevada, because that's where you put everything.
Yeah.
You know, all nuclear waste things, you just put in Nevada. And they're all going and looking for it, and all of a sudden, they just open the door, and then there's just like this giant foot crater.
Yeah, huge.
When they open the door, like just outside. And it's
Most of the mountain has been removed.
yeah.
You could just fly around. Oh, look, wait, I think it might have left this big hole here. No, don't do that. Open the door.
It might be gone. You think?
But then which is so hilarious is it's walking toward Las Vegas, and this thing's the size of like, massive skyscrapers, and the guy has to look through binoculars to see this thing, even though it's not really that far away. You can see the city. So if a giant monster is moving, you probably could see it with a naked eye, but he uses binoculars to verify that yes, indeed, that is a monster walking there. It's not just a building that's moving on its own, because that happens apparently.
Well, yeah, it's Las Vegas.
It is.
That is
There's a
true.
lot of
You
fun
never
there.
know. There could be a hotel just dedicated to kaiju battles.
There could be. It could be. Now, one thing about
I
this
would
movie,
say-
though, is I kind of feel like it wasn't, and hear me out for a second, I feel like Pacific Rim got it down perfectly,
Mhm.
and Godzilla kind of missed it.
Mhm.
I feel like there should have been more monster battles, and not focus on the humans, because what are we here to go see?
Right.
What are we going to go see?
Right. It's called Godzilla.
Exactly. It's called Godzilla, not people running about yelling at things, doing nothing, and shooting bullets. I mean, that's not the movie.
Well, apparently it was, though.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you.
No. Right.
If they would have changed the title to a different monster, would you enjoy this movie?
Yes. Because it would have more reminded me of Cloverfield. Is what it would have reminded me of more of, so I would have been a little bit more okay with the movie. But because you call it Godzilla and more people are just expecting a monster fighting thing, I didn't care if Mothra came down from the sky on fire and just tackled Godzilla. It didn't matter at that point. It was just that the movie missed the whole Godzilla monster
To be
kaiju
fair,
film.
though, you did see Godzilla swimming a lot.
You did, and the great
I
thing,
mean,
he was very polite too.
he
He went
was.
under the boats and
He
everything.
did. He tried to avoid people and doing any damage, but we just kept like, no, wait, we need to shoot you. Come here a minute,
Yeah.
because he's not doing any harm. So, in the best American fashion, shoot it.
Yeah, exactly.
It moves, kill
Shoot
it.
Kill it. Godzilla for 100 million years has not bothered human civilization
At all.
at all. I mean, he hasn't came up on land, has anything. What are we doing? Dropping nukes on him? And then what? He raises up. He goes, "I'm going to protect you. We're going to shoot you." Of course, he's going to be a little bit annoyed.
Well,
at that
stand your
point.
ground. It's a stand your ground law. He was out walking around, and they're like, you know what? He might come over here and attack. Should shoot him before he does anything. Like, smashes that car over there.
Yeah,
Stand
exactly.
your ground laws gone
So-
awry.
I mean,
But-
what they should have done, what the government should have done was, well, let these two monsters fight it out. If Godzilla becomes a problem, then we'll take care of it.
Exactly.
But instead, we got to deal with three monsters now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, no, well, now there's 3 monsters. No, I think Godzilla's going after that. We gotta deal with 3 monsters.
Yeah.
I think Godzilla might be. Nope.
It's so Godzilla was like so nice, and it's like he didn't, it's like just move out of my way, subs.
He moved the bridge. Like, I mean, he walked. What he did is he looked for it. Goes, oh, there's a part of the bridge that there's not a lot of people. He just moved through it.
Mm-hmm. Turn the topic just for a second. It's moved to different theaters. I don't know if you saw that commercial for the car commercial of Godzilla. But this car is driving and it picks up. It says, did you notice how on the screen it says these events did not really occur?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you didn't tell the audience that. So I just had to throw that out there before I forgot.
But did you see the one, the old Godzilla going around driving on motorbikes?
I did not see that one. No.
No.
Look that one up.
I didn't see that one.
It's hysterical. It's the old Godzilla.
Check it out.
I think that would have been a lot of fun.
My biggest problem with this movie is that there were a lot of people in there. It's to take that whole human element. But I don't care about any of the people.
I didn't either.
I mean, they kept throwing little kids in the scenes. Like when disaster was about to strike, like, oh look, here's this cute little kid. Disaster's coming. Focusing on the little kid. Do they make it or not? But it's like I don't even really care if the little kid survives because it's like
there's two giant monsters over there. The kid's probably more focused on them than his life anyway.
Well, the parents never knew where their kids were.
Yeah.
I mean, every time a little kid appeared, the parents start focusing over here. The kid walks out the direction. It's like, you're a bad parent. I mean, the world's about to end, and you're like, oh, kid, wait a minute, honey, I gotta look over here. You pick up the kid, and you run screaming. That's what I would do. But
spoiler alert here. The thing that I found really interesting is they put all this character development into Bryan Cranston's character.
Yes.
And then they kill him in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't care about the son.
I didn't either. I'm like, focus on him. He was more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They had this great character development, and they dropped the ball on just this army guy. It was literally guy run around, shoot bullets at monster.
Yeah.
That's what they could have called this movie, and I would have been probably okay with it. One thing, though, I could say is the thing that they really should have done is focus more on Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you could have taken out all the rest of the movie for I cared, and it was just Godzilla stomping on people, screaming. King Ghidorah comes out from space on a meteor, crashes into Godzilla. King Ghidorah gets up, Godzilla shoots fire at him, and then the entire world is destroyed. It's a great kaiju film. It would have been awesome. This one, it was like Cloverfield with bullets.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't any character development either.
Yeah.
I'm going to differ from you, and I think I didn't mind the character development as much. The problem with it is it lacked logic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People were being stupid. There was plot holes. The scene in Nevada. Like, come on. You can see the giant hole in the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think if they would address those things, looked at everything, instead of just saying, we're just going to nuke them, I think it would have been a terrific movie.
Yeah.
And then have it ending with a giant kaiju battle.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But
I mean, the battle ended up looking more like World Wrestling Federation, only with monsters than people,
It's just
I mean, it was. It was just, I expected somebody to come out there and go, let's get ready to rumble at some point in time. In fact, I probably would have cheered if they had,
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, the thing is, at one point in time in the movie, I mean, it's in San Francisco, Godzilla's fighting these monsters, and then they pan away, and there's people having a business meeting. And it's like, I don't care what job you have in life, it is not that important. You run. I mean, the president's been Air Force One flap around, oh God, what are we going to do? But, he's not even sitting in the White House because they might come over there. But no, it's like, you're going to sit there in a business meeting and then you're going to scream when they fly past you.
Yeah.
Like, were you not watching the news 10 minutes ago?
No.
Did you not see the building fall apart,
So, one quick thing, and then we'll probably call it a night. Did you think San Francisco was a good enough place to have this battle?
No.
Because I'm just thinking, it's like, you should have done it. If you would have done it in Las Vegas, I think it would have been hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you have, all of a sudden, they're fighting in New York. Now they're fighting in France.
This is true.
Or,
Picks up like the Eiffel Tower and just beats the kid.
or, somehow they end their fight in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where all the monuments.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, we're going to just take a random city.
But I did like how they filmed most of the end of the battle in Chinatown because it's almost like Japan, not quite,
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's
almost. And I love it too how when they are in Japan, all the announcements being made are all in English
Oh, yeah.
because the Japanese always speak English, they don't speak Japanese in Japan. Who does that?
No, they don't. So, final verdict?
C.
Yeah.
The main reason is the fight scene was awesome. That's what we come to go see a Godzilla movie. Bryan Cranston, amazing. Yes, he was only in the movie for 10 minutes, but he was still amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There were parts of the movie that I thought were very suspenseful. I was at the edge of my seat. Some points I'm going, what the bleep are you doing?
Right.
The cinematography was good, except for one scene. I want to thank the cinematography for not making a shaky cam movie. I was just like, they did something right. There was just one scene at like the very beginning. It's like, kind of doing this with the camera, but I forgave that. But it lacked logic.
Yeah.
There were plot holes and plot holes and plot holes.
Godzilla-sized plot holes.
Yeah.
And you kill off your best character in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
As much as I don't really like the movie, I might give it a B. And the reason why is I agree with everything that you say as well, but I can only sum it up with one word, or actually 2 sentences. It's the Godzilla movie that they didn't need. Whatever that Batman quote was.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Not the hero they wanted,
It's
but
not
the hero they needed.
It's not the hero they wanted, it's the hero that they needed.
Yes.
This is the Godzilla movie that we want. We didn't want, it's the movie that we needed.
Apparently
So yes,
so.
it was definitely better than the 1998 Matthew Broderick movie. So I will at least give it a B for at least keeping away from that concept and at least giving it a good cinematography, decent character development, and actually the effects were great. It just lacked a lot of logic.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it a B.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go like B minus C plus or middle of the road there. Godzilla's character development is awesome. You like Godzilla, you're cheering him on. He roars a lot, so that makes you happy.
Yeah.
The people you don't care at all about, and most of the movie just like you said the fight scene, why would you do that? Go do this thing instead. And so you argue with the screen a lot, which probably is not going to do a public in a packed theater, but that's what you end up doing. If you're going to go watch it, I recommend take your cell phone, set the timer and the thing for like 20 minutes before the movie ends, take a nap, and it'll buzz, wake you up, like, awesome movie, because you're going to see the best parts at the very end. And just assume the rest of it is just people like we said before, running around, screaming, shooting things, and being ineffectual.
Yep. So.
And,
well, that was it for tonight. I'm Chad.
I'm Kris.
I'm Todd.
And that was Movie Roulette.
Have a nice night.